Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. The opening prayer. The energy of love is within us and is us. Whole and complete is the I am that we are. We awaken to the truth of our being. We will this be done within and without. May we come to recognize that we receive all that we give. We know that we have forgiven ourselves when we forgive others of all grievances held within our minds. May we not be led into temptation by the voice of separation, but instead may we transcend all illusions. For ours is the power, peace, and love of Christ consciousness found within each of us, who is but the perfect extension of the one mind and heart that is shared by all, and is our birthright as the holy extensions of love itself. Our affirmation of faith. We believe in one God, the author and energy of all life, whose love sustains the universe and all things found within it. Our 5 Christ principles. 1. There is only one energy in the universe. That energy is love at all times, active in everyone, everywhere. 2. We are the divine energy of love, and that energy is found throughout the universe and in all things, whether seen or unseen. 3. We create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe, thereby establishing our responsibility for our own choices. 4. Through opening our heart center, we connect with the energy of love and bring out the Christ within us. 5. We express our desire to be of service when we live and demonstrate Christ consciousness in all our affairs. And don't forget, God loves you like crazy.
Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Bobby. Welcome to everyone who is here, and to those watching, and to those who will watch later. Welcome to this Sunday, Mother's Day. Did I give today a special title? Of course I did. And I titled it, "There is no language in the world that can describe a mother and her love." There is no language. And I just wanted to, again, welcome everybody. And thank you for joining us on this special day where we honor our mothers. It's going to be a special day, a little different than usual. But I want to start with something, because while we honor our mothers today, there are those whose mother is no longer with them, or other things have happened, and we sometimes overlook those whose heart is kind of saddened today because that one they loved is no longer here. I'm going to start with a quick story. Last night, actually late yesterday evening, I was talking with a friend of mine, and I had been blessed enough to have taken my mom, who is 81 years old, out for her Mother's Day dinner I'm going to see her today, but I wanted to take her out for a nice dinner. And we went out and had a nice time. And I came home, and a friend of mine contacted me. And he was having a hard time with the fact that today was Mother's Day because his mother isn't here. And I listened, but I could also hear anger. I said, "What are you angry about?" He said, "You got to enjoy your mom. I really never knew mine." And I said, "Okay." So I asked this person to describe what they were feeling. Well, it was very descriptive. And I will not bore anybody to tears, but kind of here's how it goes. This person was born 9 days before Christmas. And on this person's birthday, his mom got him up, got him dressed, took him to the mall and set him on Santa Claus's lap to get his picture taken with Santa Claus. She left him on his lap. She never returned. And he became a ward of the state, he and his 3 sisters. And he grew up in what we call an orphanage back then, and foster care. And 12 years ago, I thought I would do something kind because he wanted to see if he could find his mom and locate her and just ask what happened. Well, another friend of mine came over, and she and I, just using our devices, began looking for his mom. Well, I knew the name, we knew the her birth date, and what year she was born because of his birth certificate. Well, about 2 hours later, up jumped the devil. Yeah, I found her. She had passed away years before. And I knew that it was his mom because I was able to find the obituary and it had his name in it.
Oh.
And his sister's name. Well, come to find out, things he didn't know, just from the obituary. He never saw his mom from the day of his 4th birthday. And she had had a family before his and had 5 brothers that he didn't know anything about. His mom had left that man and the 5 children, married what would be his father, had 4, him being one of them. But she left, divorced him. His dad, my friend's dad, also gave up custody, which is why he was in an orphanage and everything. And come to find out from the obituary, she remarried, had more children.
Oh.
So it turns out he's one of 11. And so he's enjoyed getting to know these siblings, these, half brothers and one half sister that he didn't even know he had. But last night, it really hit him hard. He didn't understand why she had done what she did. And I've chosen this because I realized something as I was listening to him, letting him feel his feelings. I said, when he was finished, I said, okay, I understand it hurt. But your mom did the best she could with what she had. And I said, you cannot change what happened back then. You're never going to change it. It happened. And I said to him, I said, you right now can forgive her, and in your heart say to her, you did the best you could, and I forgive you. He said, but that's up to you. And I said, and I asked him a question after. I said, do you think she did the best she could? He said, well, yeah, talking to the two youngest that he did siblings that he didn't know he had, he realized she really was kind of a mess. And they didn't know anything about that they had brothers or sisters either until her deathbed. And I said, she did the best she could. I said, but here's what I want you to recognize. I said, you can't do anything about what happened an hour ago. So to sit here and get up and be upset over what happened decades ago is not serving any purpose. I said, all you are doing is making sure that the future is just more like the past. I said, forgive the past. Forgive your mom. Forgive what you think she did. And now your future will be based in this moment instead of ruminating from the past. And I said, I'm not saying to excuse what she did. It's not what I'm asking you to do. But I am asking you to forgive her. And to realize she did the best she could. And then I said to him, I said, have you ever had a day or days, weeks, where something was not going right, but you were sitting there thinking, I'm doing the best I can? I said, well, that was your mom. I said, moms have a way of doing the best they can with what they have. And I said, you think you were abandoned and unloved. But on her deathbed, she remembered you. Mm-hmm. And even though you didn't know them at the time, she made sure that you were remembered. One day, hoping that you would find her, even though she had passed. He got quiet. He thought about it. He said, she really did do the best she could, didn't she? And I said, yeah. I said, moms are that way. Sometimes we don't see it. But when we truly open our heart, we realize what our moms have given us. I said, I know you only had 4 years with her, but she's still with you, and she still taught you so much in those 4 years. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for the experience of having a mom. Well, if we're walking the earth, we all have a mom. Sometimes we get upset with them. But just like with us, they do the best they can. And there's something about a mom, the love, the caring, and I'll finish with this, and then Miss Penny, she has some things to say about motherhood. Since I am not a mom, I'm going to let her speak on motherhood for a minute. When my mom got home, the person who stays with her, because she does have Alzheimer's, picked up the phone and dialed up my number, and because she wanted to talk to me. She remembered having dinner with me, which I was kind of surprised. Usually she doesn't remember 30 seconds behind her. And she said, "Son, I don't know if I told you goodbye and how much I appreciated it." I said, "You told me goodbye." She said, "Well, I just wanted to make sure." And then she said, "I know you told me," and I was even shocked with this. She remembered that I'm coming today to see her. I'm going to spend a week with her. That's my Mother's Day present to her this year. And she said, "I was thinking on the drive home," I'm like, wow, she really was. And she said, "I tried to be the best mama I could. I did the best I could. And I know I failed in some things." I said, "No, you didn't." I said, "You were always there. You were always there for me." She said, "Well, I tried." But she said, she said, "No matter what," she said, "I know my mind is slipping and for the most part just about gone." But she says, "You know what I remember more than anything else?" I said, "What's that?" She said, "I remember the day you were born and becoming a mom. And I remember how my heart grew and the love that I felt." And I said, "Well, I still feel your love." And she was so just happy. And I said, "Well," I said, "get some rest now. I'll see you tomorrow." And she said, "Can't wait." And that's like a mom. Can't wait. So with that, turn it over to Miss Penny.
Well, Eddie didn't tell me there was a title for today. He just asked me to speak on Mother's Day. So I'll do that. Happy Mother's Day. Once again, Eddie has asked me to speak on being a mother, as he is not. So I promised him that this year I would make him a mother. So here we go. Let's think about what it means to be a mother beyond the physical realm. The presence of the mother suggests an opposing and yet complementary aspect to the father. The relationship between the two could sometimes be considered a battle between the head and the heart, with the father representing reason, logic, analytical thinking of the head, while the mother is more intuitive, subtly creative, and visits and builds emotional inner worlds expressed through the heart. The father represents the conquering of the physical world, while the mother is concerned with charting inner space, action and assertion versus contemplation and passivity. While the father tends to take charge and act alone, the mother is more open and collaborative and communicative. Notice that the qualities a mother displays sometimes go unrecognized because the world is wild and chaotic, and gentleness of spirit is often dismissed, or even made invisible, or even considered undesirable by a society where everybody wants to be number one. We all have things to learn by working with both of these divine energies. As a sort of yin and yang presence in our lives, it helps us achieve balance. Whether you naturally feel more connected to the feminine side of you or the masculine energies of creation, it is important that each of us find and integrate both in our lives. After all, the balance of reflection and action is a powerful and dynamic way that we create meaningful change. And Eddie seems to be quite capable of standing in the balance. So I just want to give you a few examples of what the feminine aspect is. Creativity. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Never give a boa to a blind man. The boa in this instance represents the tools of creativity. I have learned that when I share new techniques or artistic upgrades as they become available, Eddie will see within his mind 101 ways to use each and every one of them, and he will find the time to create each and every one of them. And as you know, his mind is sharp and is fertile with concepts and techniques that he would like to share with others. For there are no new ideas under the sun, but wonderful and glorious ways to combine them in order to reach new understandings. And his desire to expand ideas helps us reach new understandings together. The mother quality of collaboration plays out with Eddie. By using technology for the blind, he is able to describe images that come to his mind, and in this Yes universe, the most perfect image for the project that he's working on is delivered to him. We will collaborate on just how to display them throughout our projects. So when you notice our PowerPoint presentations and such, know that they're just more than a picture that's been clipped out of something. They've actually been described by a blind man. Then technology has turned them into what he visualizes. And we get to see what Eddie thinks using technology. Sometimes it's a scary place to be. Eddie nourishes our spirit when he helps us remember who and what we are in truth. He doesn't measure the success of group meetings by how many paragraphs we covered, but with a grateful, open heart, rejoices in the messages he receives, thanking him for taking the time and patience to cover a concept until it is actually understood by those in attendance. They understand how to apply it in their situation and are eternally grateful. He has the ability to take the words from the pages of a book and bring them to life within their spiritual understanding. I must say that Eddie demonstrates what he teaches. As a group, many of us are still working on the concept that the time of learning is over. At this time, we are asked to master the innate feminine energies of intuition, empathizing with us in order to understand just what we need to learn the deeper lessons of forgiveness and non-judgment. Because of his reflective nature, he always seems to have just the right story as an example to show us how he applies the miracle principles to his daily living. He is tender-hearted and cares greatly for those who come across his path. Even when someone visits the Zoom room or comes to just one workshop, He will occasionally recall them and send them well wishes and express gratitude that they had crossed his path. And those of you who have been a part of Eddie's study groups since the beginning cannot even begin to imagine just how deeply his gratitude is for you. He truly loves each and every one of us with the energy of a mother's heart. We all have things to learn by working with both of these divine energies as sort of a yin-yang presence in our lives and to achieve balance. Remember, whether you are naturally feel more feminine, connected to the mother or the father, it is important to balance and find ways to integrate both into your life. After all, the balance of reflection and action is a powerful and dynamic, meaningful change. So on this Mother's Day, I would like to say thank you, Eddie, for shining a light on the Divine Mother through your use of creativity, collaboration, and a nurturing spirit. You inspire us to more forgiving, more gratitude, and less judging through your writing, reflections, and examples. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Marvin for sharing his wonderful creativity and ability by filling our room with the most beautiful music in the world. And since I didn't know what Eddie was going to talk about, I would like to say this. The story of Eddie wasn't to brag about Eddie. It was to show you to use divine. We all need to use our divine feminine. But to those of you who didn't have a good mother, you know where your emptiness is. So what I say to you is, after forgiveness, be your own mother. Learn to pull in the spirit of motherhood. What you feel you missed because you didn't have a mother, do that for yourself. If you think that it was Christmas time and decorating and baking cookies, or your mom would take you for a walk, do those things for you. Or better yet, call up a friend who might be lonely and do those things for your friend. And build that wonderful, feminine, divine mother within yourself and your community.
Wow, Miss Penny. All right, I'm not going
Did
to
I
say
make
anything.
you a mother?
You told me that's what you were going to do. Bobby and I would like to give you, Miss Penny, this bouquet.
Oh, thank you.
Since you are the mother of the church and the foundation. Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you
Mother's
both.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And thank you, Miss Bobby.
Hugs off screen.
All right.
Thank you.
Normally, at this
Love
time,
these colors.
we would do take a moment for the meditation. If you would, I know that usually we try to keep this service short, sweet, and to the point. But today, I'm going to ask that you join me in the silence. Let's take a moment. Close your eyes. Put both feet on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension go. And recall to mind your mother or someone in your life who represented motherhood. Bring them to memory. And imagine sitting with them in the silence, where the only thing to be said is, thank you. And sit in the gratitude of a mother's love and of being loved and of giving love. as we bring our conscious awareness back to this moment, this time, this place, this space, we do so remembering what Penny asked us to do. To be in touch with our creative side. That side that is warm and caring and loving. And as we go through the rest of this day, be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the love that surrounds you. And if you are spending it with your mom, enjoy it in gratitude. Thank you again, Marvin. And if you would, for all those, please say with me in silence our closing prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We give and receive in love. Amen. Have a great week, and thank you for joining us.